Hello everyone. So this is entrepreneurship class, and in my previous video I have discussed the first chapter in which we have seen the relationship between entrepreneurship and an enterprise, and I have discussed the functions which were performed by an entrepreneur. So after that, this is the next topic which I am going to discuss today. So we'll discuss today the need, myth and process of entrepreneurship. So starting with the need. Now why entrepreneurship is actually needed? See, economic development is the main reason because of which an entrepreneurship is needed, is required in a country. So every country wants economic development, and economic development depends on entrepreneurs, and entrepreneur in turn depends on innovations. Who does innovations? Who creates new thing in a country? It is created, new things are created by innovations are done by entrepreneurs. So for economic development we need entrepreneurship. Okay, now there are three types of economies we know: capitalist, socialist and mixed economy. So in capitalist economy, who performs this entrepreneurship? The private players. And in socialist economy, it is performed, this entrepreneurship function is done by the state, by the government. And in India, as we have mixed economy, here the entrepreneurship function is performed by government as well as private players. Okay, so now coming point by point. First is, entrepreneurship is the lifeline of a nation. Now we'll see that how you measure the economic development, or how we measure the development of a country. We measure the development of a country by entrepreneurship, by number of companies, by the growth of the companies. So that is why if a company needs to progress, they have to develop the entrepreneurship there. Now second is, it provides innovation. Now innovation is what? Creating new products, doing something new in a different way. So this is also done by entrepreneurship. This is also done by an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur is a person who creates something new, who does something, things differently. So innovation is done by an entrepreneur. So that is why it is needed in a country. Now adapting to changes. There are changes in the environment also, always. Environment is never the same. It changes very frequently, and always there is a change. Now an entrepreneur adapts the changes which is there in the environment, and he not only adapts the changes, but he tries to change the environment itself, okay, by the enterprise he is running. And next is increased profit. Now how an entrepreneur can increase profit? There are two ways of increasing profit: either by reducing the cost. You can increase the profit by reducing the cost, or by increasing profits. So this increasing profits by increasing the sales is very difficult. Okay, it is very difficult. You ask marketing people, it is very difficult to increase the sales. So if this is very difficult, what is in the hands of the entrepreneur? It is reducing the cost. So if cost of a particular product an entrepreneur can reduce, then the profits will increase. So these are the two ways by which profits can be reduced: reducing the cost or increasing the sales. Since this is very difficult, so what is the option available to the entrepreneur? Reducing the cost. Now if it reduces the cost, the profits will increase, and with that increased profit, the entrepreneur can grow his business. Okay, so this is also required. Now next is employment opportunity. See, if a person is looking for a job and he gets a job, he is earning for himself only. But when a person starts a new company, he gives employment to, he is creating employment opportunities for many people. So this leads to again growth of a nation. So creation of employment opportunity is done by entrepreneur. So that is why it is needed in a country. Then last one is social benefit. Okay. Now what is the meaning of social benefit? Using the raw materials and resources which are available locally. Okay, he creates goods and services at a very reasonable price. Okay, now we have seen the importance of this in this pandemic situation. Like we have to promote the local vendors and local sellers, local manufacturers. Okay, so that is social benefit. An entrepreneur uses the resources, nearby resources, and then he creates a goods and services which are reasonable or the prices are low. Okay, so these are the benefits or need for entrepreneurship. Next, after that, we'll come to advantages of entrepreneurship. Now, there are 5 advantages and 5 disadvantages. First is excitement. So, whenever a person is doing something for himself, okay, so whenever a person is doing something for himself, it gives him excitement. Okay, so because he is innovating something new, so that is the first point, that is excitement. So in first point we have seen excitement is there. Why? Because risk element is there. Okay, you are doing something, so you are taking risk in the business. So because of this risk element, excitement is there. Now originality means new product or innovation. So you are creating something new. So that is why it builds up self-confidence. Your confidence is built up. Okay. The independence. Why? You are boss of your own business and you are free to take all the decisions. So independence is there. Then rational compensation. See, many times employees in an organization, they feel that they are not being paid according to their work. They are working hard but they are not being paid accordingly. But in business, whatever effort the businessman is putting in the business, he is getting the reward accordingly. So that is rational compensation. Then freedom. You are free to take decisions. It is your own business and you can work on your own idea. In freedom, we'll say you can work on own ideas. Whatever ideas you are having, you can work on it. Nobody is going to stop you. So these are the advantages. Next, coming to the disadvantages. First is irregular income. Okay, you cannot predict how much income you are going to generate this year. What will be your profit? And so here income is irregular. Now fewer benefits are there. That means say in new company, whenever we start a new company, the benefits are very limited. Okay. Then work schedule. Now this you cannot fix a particular work schedule that okay, I'm going to work for this much time, and you cannot predict the work schedule. It is for even you have to work at late hours or the whole day you have to work. Or someday you don't have any jobs, no new project is there, so you are not working. So work schedule cannot be predicted. Next is administration. Okay, now administration part is the next one. Now he is the only person who is doing the administration in the business. So he is taking all the decisions. So sometimes an entrepreneur feels that he may take wrong decisions. Okay. So that is administration, and then incompetent staff. So last one is incompetent staff. That means if a manager, if an entrepreneur, he doesn't get good experienced, motivated staff. So this is also one of the disadvantage of entrepreneurship. So these are the advantages and disadvantages. Next, so our next topic is the myth which is there in entrepreneurship, myths of entrepreneurship. Myths means some misconception or misunderstanding for that particular concept. So the first myth or misinterpretation is starting a business is easy. So people think that if you are unable to do anything else, you start your own business. But starting business is not easy. If you will see that the failure percentage is very high. Okay, so starting a business is not an easy work. It takes a lot of money to finance a business. No, it's not true. You can start your own business with a little amount of money. When you will see Infosys was started by Narayan Murthy and he was not having money. So he took only 10,000 rupees from his wife and then he started the business. So you can start a business with a small amount of money. Okay, so this is a myth. Now startups can't be financed by debt. No, startups, you have to have your own money, you have to take loans, you have to invest money in that. You can start your business by taking loans. Okay, it's not necessary that you have to issue shares and only with ownership fund you can start a business. Okay, so taking loans you can also do, you can start a business. Bank don't lend money to startups. it is again a myth, because you will see a lot of schemes are there which is there by, provided by the banks, where they give funds for small industry, medium industry, large industry. So bank do provide loan for startups. Now most entrepreneurs start business in attractive industries. We think that, okay, now Reliance trend is there, so we'll start a shop having clothes or apparels of all the major brands, or we'll start a business in a very attractive industry. It's again a myth, because there are some areas where which is not very attractive or very very known to others, but then also it gives you a very good return. You can earn good profit in that. One example is Mahima Meher. What she has done, Mahima Meher has started Hathi Chhap industry, where she used to manufacture handmade paper which was made from elephant dung. Okay, generally for making that cardboards and all, we use different material, some other dung is used, but he started horse dung is used for making that cardboards and all. But she started Hathi Chhap, where she was using elephant dung for manufacturing handmade paper. So that is not a very attractive industry, but she earned a huge profit there. She is earning a huge profit there. Now the growth of startups depends more on entrepreneur than on the business he chooses. This is also wrong, because it depends a bit on the entrepreneur's talent, but which sector, which type of business you are starting, it depends on that also. See, when the computer came, when it was invented, computer was invented, or this cyber cafes and all started, at that time whoever entered into that computer business, they flourished. So whatever new is coming in the market, if you start your business in that, you may succeed there, and there are less risk. Okay, so it depends on the type of business, on the type of sector, industry you are entering into. Now most enterprises are financially successful. This is again a myth. As I said, it is not easy to start a business, and it is very difficult to earn profits and sustain in the market. Many times entrepreneurs, they are unable to give salary to their workers, to their employees. They are unable to cover their cost also. So it is not that every enterprise is very successful. All the entrepreneurs are earning very good profit. So these are the myths, the misconceptions related to entrepreneurship. Then the last topic of this first unit is the process of entrepreneurship. Okay. Now, okay, in this, this is a process of entrepreneurship. So it starts with self-discovery. The meaning of self-discovery is you have to know what you enjoy doing. Okay, suppose if you enjoy singing, you should opt a singing career. Okay, and if you enjoy cooking, you should go for cooking. So you have to first know that what are the things in which you enjoy. Okay, so your interest you have to know, that is self-discovery, and then you have to see your strengths and weaknesses also. Okay, it's not that you wish to do something, you love to do something, but your weaknesses and strength also is to be evaluated. You have to evaluate that also. Next, coming to identifying opportunities. Now in this we have to see the needs, wants which are not satisfied, which are there in the market, the problems, the challenges. Here you have to see the needs, problems, challenges which is there in the environment. So you have to identify opportunities. Now generating and evaluating ideas. Now how to solve this problem? Now you have identified that there are some problems in the society. Now how you are going to solve this problem, that is generating and evaluating idea. Now after that comes planning. What we do in planning is we start seeing from where we are going to get the resources and how we are going to convert this idea into a viable venture. Because you have to convert this idea into a venture, into an enterprise. You have to create an enterprise. So how you are going to do this? Then you have to prepare, you have to do research related to that idea. You have to prepare a business plan, how you are going to execute that. So that is planning. Now arranging for startup capital, that means you have to attract. Startup means you have to arrange for capital now. Okay, now you have seen, you have done the research, you have seen from where you are getting the resources and all. Then what you'll do? You'll try to get now capital. So you will attract investors, so that you will get money for your fund. Next is startup. This is launching up of a new venture, and you have to now create a customer base, customer base you have to create, and you have now launched your venture. After that, growth. Growth is developing, growing the business. And the last one is harvest. Harvest means selling the business. Okay, it means selling the business, but in real world what happens? Now the business starts getting regular profit from that particular venture, and now the entrepreneur will shift to a new venture which is having new challenge. Okay, now this one is complete, so he'll shift to a new venture where he can earn, he can increase his profit. So these are the steps in the process of entrepreneurship. With this, we complete the first unit. Thank you.